it worked.
Hi, hello.
Hello. First of all, we got to talk about this cute new Bob, cute new Jen.
Oh, yeah. Well, shout out to the one, the only Judge Julie. She was my Bobspiration. She knows this. When she was in town for our friend sewing weekend, I sat across from her in her perfect bob, and I was like, Julie, you have to pardon me, because normally I hang on every word you say, but I have to get out my telephone and immediately make a haircut appointment to bob along with you. So, yeah, it is, we're bobbing. But yes, oh, thank you everyone. But yes, it will never look like this again. This is day two of this stretch, this like insane, there's so much product in this hair. So it's giving very like the Monica from Friends, which is very fun, but it's going to go back to the curly wonder in mere minutes when we're done with this here live. But thank you so
Uh,
much for the shout out.
so what'd she do? Did she do a thing where it was like a pull and a scoop? See, I'm really good
Good
at
job.
hair.
Good job.
This is
Yes.
why.
Basically, for those of us who have a longer hair, this might be a familiar story, but and I'll keep it short, Allison. I'll keep it brief. But
Everybody else has long hair. I am the weird one. The people want to know. The people want to know.
uh, when I have found someone that really specializes in textured hair and curly hair, and it's really helped me on my hair journey. I've accepted my natural texture, and I love it so much. This is a recovering early 2000s girly who was addicted to the flat iron, as most of us were. It's nice to like come back and embrace our hair, but when I'm there in the salon, just for her to like let it air dry immediately, I'm like, you know, I'm paying my hard-earned money, the party people's money.
Yeah.
And I want to just like put her through her paces. So I was like, whatever you got, like give me a whole, do a blowout situation, like, and then put curls back in, because why not? And it was very satisfying because I have a hard time figuring out products for my hair, and she was having a hard time figuring out products for my hair. And I felt relief because I was like, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. At one point, she's like, time to bring out the big guns. And I was like, okay, well, there we
Bring it
are.
out.
No wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder. It's been so hard my whole freaking life. But it is hilarious how shiny my hair looks just from a cut. Like, that's sad. I really let it go crazy. And for a long time. So it looks like I had it colored. I didn't.
It's so brown. It's
It
so
was this
brown.
dead. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
chestnut. It's a real
Yeah.
chestnut situation. So
Mhm.
anyway, yeah, we did the big chop. And hair holds memories. That's a belief in many societies. And so it can be hard to let it go. But for me, it's all about fresh start. It was a good self-care moment in the wake of Tuesday, and fresh start is the vibe. So Bob, Bob,
Well,
Bob.
I love it. I think it's adorable.
Thank
I
you.
think all hair is tyranny and oppression.
Yes,
So less is
you do think
better
that.
for me. I
I
do.
was
I really,
ready.
I hold on to that.
Yeah, Julie was here at the beginning of October, and I was ready to just like take a broadsword and just get rid of it. So it felt long overdue. And I'm very happy to, yeah, I think we're all, and I will say my hairstylist, shout out to Shiloh the stylist on all of your socials. I think my bob's going to be featured very soon. Um, she was saying
Better?
it seems to be the real cultural moment. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's the roaring 20s all over again. Like we're all just reacting, like we're hiking up the hemlines and we're chopping off the hair. She's like, yeah, we're not doing the male gaze anymore. And I was like, you're right, Shiloh. Get this hair out of here. Get it out of here.
Yeah. Get it out of there. You can do the Allison gaze, Laura, because I look at you more than any man ever
That's
does.
true.
And
That's true.
I love it. I love it.
That's all that matters, and that's all that matters. So thank God the first place I went after my haircut was your house to pick something up.
Well,
So it worked out.
it was really funny because I was like doing the time when you were going to come to my house for the pickup, and I was like, it got to be 3:30, it got to be 4, and I was like, I wonder what is happening. But I guess it takes a little bit longer to cut hair when you're not just taking a buzz saw to it.
It does. It's also not conveniently located, and I chose to take the Damon bus, which, contrary to popular belief, does exist. The Damon bus actually exists. So, um, is this the thing where I'm cutting out again? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know why they do this, but I was gonna just like try to. It's like at the 6 minute point
So weird. So weird.
now, but like at 6 minutes, the Mighty Network just says no, you can no longer hear. Why does it do that to me? But we're
I
back
don't
now.
know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I was making a hilarious joke about the fact that I took the Damon bus back home, which, contrary to popular belief, does exist because you never see it. You never see that
No.
damn bus, but
No.
I found
No,
it.
you don't.
So I was
It
bussing
comes.
on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. And also I think it took longer to cut your
Oh,
hair.
well, and I
Yeah.
really leaned in. I was like, yes, I will have a limoncello LaCroix. Yes, I will have you show me a range of products. Yes, head massage in the sink. Yep, let's do
The
the whole
whole
thing,
thing.
Shiloh. What are we doing?
Yep.
Afterwards,
Yep.
my light just fell down. Afterwards, she hugged me. So I think we both needed a moment. So that was
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really impressive. Self-care comes in all
Yeah.
forms, really.
Yeah, it really does. And I feel like we talked about this a little bit yesterday, Laura, when we were getting beers at 9 a.m.
Hmm.
together.
Hmm. Yes.
Um, that it feels like a breakup. It feels like a breakup. And Laura was surprised that I was in pretty good shape yesterday. If which and fair enough. I don't know why I am the way that I am, but I feel it very deeply, like I know a lot of us do, because it does feel like a rejection. It does feel like a breakup. But what I was saying to Laura yesterday is, for me personally, I was already broken up with in 2016. Like that was, for me, the moment where I like, bye. You are not you are not welcome. You are not anything. Goodbye. This is over. And I mourned the relationship and I moved on. And this summer it was like, ooh, who's calling me? Oh, you want to get a drink? Like, oh, you want to like talk about old times? Like, that's fun. But then ultimately, when it was like, oh no, we're still broken up, it was like, yeah, I know we're broken up and we're never, ever, ever getting back together. So it was easier for me yesterday than it was in 2016. In 2016, on 36-hour mark, I would not be able to do this. Like
Right.
I was not okay to be able to be speaking. Um, so yeah, I understand why people are feeling the need to cut now, because it does feel like the ultimate reaction, by the place that you live. It is a breakup. So that's like we're in a mourning period. So chop the hair off is what I have to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to do what you have to do, and I don't think one reaction is better than another. One is certainly more vocal than the other, and some people do need to reach out to their community on their social media or kind of scold or do these things. And I can't
Yeah.
tell people how to mourn. It's really tough. Not everybody has conservative family, and you can count yourselves very lucky in that regard. But it's not great, and it has not been great in those realms for a long time. So you have to do what you have to do. But I've debated that today. Like I sent out a McDougal minute today, and I was back and forth because there were some folks sharing really strong opinions that now's not a time to be promoting oneself. Now's not a time to be doing ads or thing, and it should be a quiet time of contemplation and mourning. Um, but unfortunately for me, my career is also based in a community that I serve. So I feel like you do have to give people what they want, like we always say. And I can't think of a better thing to be providing people right now than an outlet for all their frustration. So that's certainly why I'm here today. Um, and talking to our community, which is really where I would like to be. That is exactly where I'd like to be. It's nice to not have to deal with the general population, like in a store environment, for example. That part, no, thank you. But it is great. It was something that was very good for me was to think about all of you, and to think about the community that we have built and how I knew that we could all lean on each other right now. And yeah, Gen Pop is rough out there, and but it's nice to know that we can be here for each other. So I think that's my big thought, my big takeaway.
Yeah, completely agree. Of course, Laura, I feel like it's super rich that people now are saying that you shouldn't be selling things since the only thing anybody's been selling for the past, what, 6 months has been, their own agendas. But now small businesses should just be in quiet contemplation. Like, yeah, girl,
Yeah, I mean,
mind your business.
and let's be clear, white women have a lot of splaining to do. Okay, we do. But the reality is uh times are going to get tougher, not better. And I really
Yeah.
think having things in place to build community is really literally the only thing we can do. Um,
Yeah.
so so yeah,
Yeah.
and taking care of each other. So that is something I know that you've emphasized even before Tuesday, well before Tuesday. And that's where I'm at now. It's
Yeah.
clearly we have to be there for each other because the broader
They
nation will
are,
not.
yeah, are not. They're not with
Mhm,
us. They have broken up with us. It is
mhm,
over. We're not getting back together, but we have each other, and that is, that's tangible.
mhm.
And that's why I'm doing better than because we have actionable, so many times when this happens, you're like, what do I do? Like, what do I do?
Mhm.
Well, it's time to, hold on to the things that make you be able to get through the day.
Right.
And the party, Laura,
Hello,
you, um,
you,
you know,
Allison, Laura, Allison, Hardy. This
yes,
is what we do.
this is what we do. But it is super important, to keep doing the things that you do because that's all you can do. And if you, lean into despair, then you're not going to be able to make it up um, in the morning,
And I
So,
said this too in my newsletter today, where it's like, I think there's a tendency at really rough times like this because of the nature of our careers in our community. It's pretty easy to both understate and overstate how important, you know, we are as the head of this thing. Like, I think it's really easy to be like, this is useless. Nothing means anything. The world's on fire. Like, what? Who cares about our silly little yarn? I think that's understating. I mean, overstating would be like, we're all we have, and like, don't talk to anybody that's not in the party. That's cults. We don't do that
it's,
either,
yeah,
right?
but at least not today.
We're
Yeah.
trying to go easy on the us, them. But
Yes.
I do think it's important, like, even though it's not for anything, you're not making anything for money. You're not going to keep your hands busy for anything other than you won't use them for murder. That it is making things and taking that energy and putting it into something is a really ancient practice, and I think can be a great way to process a lot of this shit. So it's not necessarily, even though we are the figurehead that's bringing everybody together, we are here because you all are here for us too, and you have been, and we'll continue
Yeah.
in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was definitely my message in my newsletter this morning as well. That was just like a big thank you for
Mhm.
putting me in a position where I get to provide these services, and provide a platform where people don't have to doom scroll to get to us through X or Instagram or anything,
Mhm.
so and be able to have something to look forward to, like I knit along, you know, um, it does matter. And I feel like as women, we are told a lot of the things we care about don't matter. I feel like we were told that on Tuesday, pretty decidedly. The things that we care about don't matter, and the things that we care about do matter, and they don't
Mhm.
matter on the bigger scale, but they matter on a smaller scale. And to be able to say, "Hey, your sweater looks great. That's amazing work. And, you know, hey, let's try this, or let's do this. Let's work on this." There is so much value to that. And that's really important.
Important. It's
Yeah.
it's also nice to have a shorthand. Like there's a definite metaphor that's tired and has been said a lot, but we talk a lot, particularly with women, with minorities, with people in the queer community, where there's a lot of invisible labor that happens in from those communities for broader society that's not appreciated or seen. And one thing that is great about being in a making community is we have that shorthand to know how much work that was, how hard it was to knit every single stitch in the two sweaters that we're sitting here wearing, how much time, how much effort, how much care, down to knowing the origin of the materials. Like we have that appreciation
Yeah.
that you don't have to break it all down for someone who has no idea,
Yeah.
and really
And we don't
appreciate
have
all of
to,
your invisible labor.
yeah, and we don't have to belittle the math and science, like the fiber content. Like, what's it going to do if
Hmm.
I melt it? What's it going to do if I get it wet? Like the science aspect of the math that goes into it. These
Yep.
things
A
have
STEM
always been kept
community.
from us. Yes, they've always been kept from us, and the only reason that they are relatable to us now is through the fitting them into our lives, so that we're told that we're not told that we shouldn't be doing these things.
Right.
So from every aspect, this is a part of taking our own space, which is
Yeah.
going to be more important as we move through the next 4 years.
100%. I mean, one of the reasons, and then we can, I mean, whatever. We don't have to keep on
Yeah, we
track. We
don't
can do
have,
whatever we want. We
yeah.
can do whatever we want. But, so yeah, you everybody. No, not you guys. Not you.
Not you guys.
Not you, but the broader you.
Yeah, the
Um,
us thing, but
yes.
you to everybody, kind of the general, yeah.
For sure. But that is why, I have a background in anthropology, and it was so clear to me early on in my little awakening as a college student that the history of textiles is really bound up in women's labor, and and it's always been connected to the history of women and craftsmanship. And it's nice to kind of reconnect to these ancient practices when you feel so despised and marginalized. So it's very, I take a lot of solace in that, and I'm hoping, I feel that at least those watching can as well.
Love the question coming from Melissa in the chat. She's asking, she had a therapist appointment. Good looking at putting that therapy appointment yesterday. If Melissa thought the greater knitting community leans the same way you do, and she was wondering what thoughts were. Feel uh, there are snakes in the grass, y'all. Guess what? you know, like I feel like if we learned nothing from 2016 is that a lot of white women say a lot of things and then do a lot of different things, and that also feels really scary, that you can't trust the people around you. I feel like, based on the numbers, that no, a lot of the knitting community is not like supremely liberal leaning for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of gatekeeping in this community, probably because there's a lot of gatekeeping in any, niche community. But we saw that in 2020. We saw that when George Floyd was murdered, and the response to that, and how many times we were told to stop talking agenda, whatever that means. So I do feel like with any community are going to be people who are right and left and loud, and left and quiet, right and loud. You just have to be. Laura, what do you?
I mean, I agree, but I also think I'm trying to figure out how to word it really, but I also, I think that Amy is spot on, where probably about 53% of white women knitters are conservative, which would echo broader society. That would make sense. But yeah, I also think there's even more, like, if you drill down to the thing of like, can we just not talk politics? Like, can we just not? And that is an incredibly privileged statement. And I think there are a lot of people who would consider themselves left-leaning, or having, liberal opinions, who also don't want to be challenged or uncomfortable at all. And that is a very privileged space to be in. I catch myself in that sometimes, where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to think about this today. And it's like, well, isn't that nice that I don't have to? And I can just like, turn away, because of my immense privilege. So I think that there is also, I think it's much more impactful to live your values than to perform them. And to be consistent with the things that you say, and to build community, like not talk about it, but be about it. I think that's way more impactful. And I see all of us doing that around here. But I do think
the opposite in the knitting community too, a lot of just lip service you.
And so that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, I get uncomfortable with that, where it's like, at a certain point, we're performing for each other, and it's an echo chamber. So I'm not particularly interested in that either, because you can also set yourselves up, kind of like what happened in 2016, where we were also hurt and shocked because we had eliminated the possibility in the things that we were seeing of very real bad things that were happening. So, I think, again, we can also work on our own shit at the same time, but I do think I would think we're a pretty small microcosm of the community. Do you think that's a fair statement, Allyson?
It feels that way. But at the same time, over the past probably week, I have gotten zero pushback about any of the things that I've been saying. And I've been very loud, and I'm always very loud about my opinions, on Instagram, on the party, my newsletter. Only got just support. And I was thinking about why
well, you're terrifying.
Was so wrong. Yes, I am very sorry. And I invite people to be scared of me. Please just go to the store.
That's the brand.
Quietly.
Yes,
that's
the brand.
Please. Yes, please. Just leave me alone. You disagree with me? Bye. But also, you were hearing things about like people being mad at the media for spinning these tales, or mad at journalism for blah, blah, blah. It's like, I feel like there are people who are very online, and there are people who are very offline. And the people that are online assume that everybody is online and seeing the things that we're all seeing because we're very online. And the people that are online seem to be more clued in to what's going on in the world, more left-leaning, more educated, more, readers, learning things. And the people who are offline are a surprise to us every time they pop up, because we aren't getting their info.
Right.
So that's what happened. It's not media. Media can only take with the information that they can get. Journalists can only report on the data being collected. And if you're not collecting data from people because they are offline, they are going to be a surprise to us every time. So what we're seeing here on the party, in our classes, these are people who are also very online. You have to want to be in a Zoom class. You have to want to log onto your phone. You have to want to connect with people virtually. And so those people are the more liberal people. So of the people that we're seeing, of course, those are going to be the people who are, more aligned with our values. That doesn't go to say that there aren't a million women knitting in their circles, in their actual in-person circles, talking about how much they love Trump. We just don't see that,
Right.
So,
and there is a large online movement of this return of the trad wife and these, like taking the domestic sphere back to a place of oppression. And so that is also a very online thing that's kind of can be a little bit gateway for those of us who do love to cook and want to be in a cottage and wear long nightgowns. Like, this is all very appealing. Yes.
Clown outfits.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, this is for me. Oh, this is for me. And then you're like, wait a minute. They got me.
Someone's taking a turn. Someone's taking a turn here. I thought we were just having fun with like crafts and eggs.
How do you have 11 kids in 8 months? How did this happen? What's happening? I don't. What's going on? I have to go.
Yeah. Something got weird.
No, the Book of Mormon. Run!
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm in my jammy pants. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. So
I don't know. And also, people are fucking racist.
Oh yeah, huge. That's a huge problem. Huge problem. Huge.
Yeah, people don't believe Black women when they speak.
No. Who, again, if you want to look at the voting records, always on the right side of history, Black women, always. So
always.
That's just. Woo.
It's not hard. Yeah, it's not hard. Yeah.
So there's a lot to unpack, obviously. But to your therapist's point, Melissa, I think that no, I don't. I don't think we're not a monoculture as a knitting community, but I think that because we're smaller, this is why the what's coming to the broader society tends to happen 2 to 3 years earlier in the knitting world. So what seems like niche drama on Ravelry then seems to explode out into the broader culture. So I feel like we've seen that a couple of times prior to like big national scandals. We would have like some dust ups on Ravelry. So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad to be here. That's what I know.
Yeah. And, we just covered how scary I am, but I do like to have interesting conversations with people who are going to give me a different opinion. It's not just yell about Jesus at me. There are important things to discuss, but unfortunately that is not happening as far as I can see. It's very like, people are fucking racist. People hate women.
But we have this fun trick that has developed from in the past 30 years where it has become so much more offensive to be called a racist than to be
racist. To actually be a racist.
Yes. So it is so hurtful and terrible that you would call a racist action racist and you are the problem. Than to actually have racist opinions and put racist policy into action. So it is this fun little judo trick that happens. Yeah. Just like, at a certain point, you're not going to have a good faith debate because someone will bring up the Bible.
No.
You're not going to have a good faith
Right.
debate because someone will bring up their kids. And it's like, I'm not going to be able to argue this or, defend it. It's just like, we're done. Like, okay, you've thrown the bomb in the conversation. So bye.
Yeah. And also, I feel like if you have a child and you have voted for Trump and he is going to put Robert Kennedy, fucking that psychopath, in charge of your health care, your child's health care, you don't have a leg to stand on because that's insane.
Yeah. Not to mention what is supposedly what he promises. So who knows what happened to the Department of Education, but whatever.
Right? Oh, you want your kid to get an education?
One room schoolhouse and slates,
Psycho.
everybody.
Psycho. Psycho. That's so crazy. But this is why we lost, because we have this attitude. We know more than you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Hey, guess what? People don't like that. And I watched Jimmy Kimmel. I did not watch Jimmy Kimmel last night. Let's be real. I was in bed by 9:30. Like, no, I don't do that. But I watched the highlights. I think Jimmy Kimmel is very intelligent man. I like his takes a lot. But him standing there crying and saying that liberals had a rough night, but actually everybody had a rough night. They just don't know it yet. Is so fucking condescending. And this is exactly what the Democrats did. And that's exactly why we lost, because you're playing for the middle and and nobody wants to be told what they think you can't tell people that against their own self-interest. You can think that, and they probably are, but you have to give them a reason to vote for you. And that just tells them why you're an idiot if you vote for Trump. Bless your heart, Jimmy Kimmel. Bless your heart.
Well, meanwhile, I'm a Colbert gal. Again, don't watch live, watch the clips. And I did like how he started the intro to his show yesterday of saying, like, a lot of people were saying to him, God, I'm so sorry. It must be so hard to know that you have to do a show tonight. And then he was like, my position is I get to do this show tonight. I get to come here and be with all of you and do something that I love. Which was another thing that I was thinking of prior to going on live today, where it's just like, it fucking sucks. But I certainly don't have any tears to shed for some extremely online, like, 20-year-old to get real excited about. And I feel like I love what we do, and it's what I can focus on right now. I mean, yeah, the Jimmy Kimmel of it all, that's tough. I would have a hard time getting through that clip. That would be tough.
Yeah. Right. Because you're the problem. I mean, that's the problem, right? My whole attitude was, and we say this all the time, Laura, you got to give people what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they're clearly telling you that this is what they want. So we just have to get out of the way, gird our loins and get through it. And live to, change when we can.
It's day 2 of processing this information, and that there's not going to be any big dramatic aha moment. It's just, it's tough. We're glad you all are here, and we'll keep being here. And that's what I've got. But don't maybe cry on air. That's icky. I'm not into that.
Defeat. But yeah, I got dumped 8 years ago. It's all right. We right? Yeah, we live with it. Speaking of getting what they want, Laura.
Yeah, anyway. Tough. Speaking of which, this is a great transition because You are wearing a sweater that is breaking the internet, and you're adding the perfect clown accessory. I mean, accessory.
Excuse me? Am I not looking for the male gaze?
Hey, it's man repeller for the rebrand. Man repeller without the weird body issues.
Well,
I love your sledding scarf. I love your sledding scarf. It's phenomenal. This color block scenario is super fun. It worked out great.
you know, one day you're feeling real purple, and the
Mhm.
next day you're like, you know what? No, I'm feeling more blue. I'm
Yes.
feeling
There
more blue.
we go.
So you just switch it over. Oh,
It's
yes.
so luxurious. I adore it. I think the colors work
Luxurious.
perfectly with your sweater. I have been, doing all kinds of projects, but I do have my first little flapperoo. So yeah, Harvest Dream core
Harvest
for
Dream
sure.
Core. Harvest
hmm
Dream Core is different than Clown
Yeah,
Core. That is
yeah.
true.
It's
Yeah,
very harvesty.
that
It's
is
a
true.
little autumn. It's a little too
It
much
is.
autumn, perhaps, in your screen at the moment. But it's very autumnal. I love it. It's a vibe. It'll go with all of my khaki and olive green that I've been wearing. No such thing as too much autumn. Well,
Thank
good,
God for
Amy.
that. Yeah,
Buckle
thank God
up.
for that.
So
Um,
I am loving it. It is a wild ride. I definitely messed up the stitch count in this little section here, and who even can tell? You can.
literally no
Who
one.
cares?
Literally no one.
Yeah.
No. It
So
just gets bunched up anyway, so who cares?
so question for you, Allison. This is part of our sledding scarf knit along that we're doing, which very aggressively means we do not have to pay attention to gauge,
No,
because that's
no
not something we need
foresight.
to be doing right
No,
now.
I don't know
That's not
her.
something we can handle. But you had said, so I believe from this point around, the pattern says to knit 13.5 inches. I think that's right.
Yeah.
But you had said you were considering adding length. Did you end
Oh,
up
yeah.
adding length?
Yes, I did, Laura McDougal. Yes, I did. I went up to 15 total inches, and I'm glad I did. She's gripping. She's
Yeah.
gripping my old look
I
here.
I feel like that is gotta be the case. So I wanted to check in with you about that because that 13.5 seemed a little
She's
snug.
tight. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's tight. So I went with 15, which means that I changed colors, Laura, right at the 7.5 inch mark.
Oh my gosh,
So
it's so beautiful.
is she
Yeah, I
cute?
mean,
Is she cute?
for
I mean,
my
my
exact neck
grandmother, I feel like my
purchase.
grandmother had one of these.
Oh yeah.
I
In
don't know if my
plastic
mom's
after she
here.
went to the
And
hairdresser.
plastic! Yes! In plastic! Mom, are you here? Is my mom here?
So now I have to
Um,
tell you a story about this of one of my students on Tuesday. Her
Man
mother
repeller.
her mother, who's in her late 70s, was having a major garage sale, and she had a like branded Marshall Field plastic um like giveaway, essentially, to protect the hair that Marshall Field used to give away, in a sealed thing, and she wanted $5 for it. And Jenny was like,
What a
"Mom,
steal.
no
What a
one's no
steal
one's
of a
buying this for $5."
$5.
And her mom was like, "Write vintage on it." And I was like, "This woman's a genius.
I'm with
This woman
mom.
is a genius."
I'm with mom. Yeah, I'm with mom
Yeah,
on that one. Holy shit. Yeah,
I do
it's perfect.
feel I spent time watching old black and white movies, and it was very hat forward, and fascinator forward, and I do feel this is very fascinatory.
Yeah.
I look like a whack. Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga Choo Choo?
Oh, the Chattanooga Choo Choo?
Track 29. Yeah. The waxy Justin slacks.
I did
Yeah.
that, please. I could
Dancing
put it
cheek to
through.
cheek and pant to pant, Amy. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
slack
white,
to
that's a,
slack.
that's a white Christmas reference, Allison. Sorry to do it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like her.
this
I
is great.
like her.
This is great. Yeah, so that's might be as far as I get. No, I was already telling Allison I want another one in Illimani Amelie. I think would be the most chic,
Yeah.
fluffy situation. Totally different vibe. Not Queen of Fall, Queen of Winter.
Well, winter is coming, maybe. Sorry, climate. We're
Yeah.
gonna fuck you so hard. It's so coming. Just like bend over. It's gonna be terrible. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
So maybe we should stop knitting for winter and start knitting for autumn of all
Yeah,
seasons.
just constant autumn. Well, I have my Louise bobble sweater in winter white that I'll be featuring for the holiday season. So I feel like a little fluffy Amelie with that. Yeah, I think I could be a 4-season calendar in all my fits now. And you could do a sledding scarf for all seasons because yeah,
You
you'll need a beach
really
scarf.
could.
You need a
Yes.
beach scarf.
Your beach scarf. So yeah, I knit this. I need more. What is this? What is
What?
life? I don't know.
So you were undecided. You were undecided last time, and you were like, it's either the dumbest thing or the greatest. So it sounds like you're on team greatest.
I think
What's
it's
your
team
vision?
both.
Team
I think
both.
it's team both. I think it is the dumbest and also the greatest.
Well, what is your vision for the next one? Are you going through scrap? Will you be ordering something? What you gonna use?
I won't be ordering anything. It kind of depends on what I dig around for. But yeah, I can definitely see this happening. I'm doing this. This is happening.
Great.
It's nuts, but we're here now. So I'm going to be live next week at 11:30
Yes.
a.m. Central Standard Time. Now, we did cancel our live for next week. So Laura and I will not be together, but I will be here at 11:30 a.m. Talking about next steps with the good old sledding scarf. So if you are going along on this journey, my first video got us through like the halfway point. The next video is going to talk about the second half of this sucker, and then we're cruising. So I can't anticipate having another one cast on by then. This is nice because you are just knitting.
Yeah. Easy.
It's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice. So yeah, and with the sledding scarf. Now, speaking of Christmas.
Oh yeah. Look at that plaid. Okay, so this is your Christmas doodle sock, and I am so thrilled to see that you have commenced with putting the plaid on the bottom of the foot. That is correct. That is just the correct thing to do. How is the try-on? How was the try-on? Everything good? Everything fitting great? You want to do it live now?
Well, it should be good because I made the Halloween ones and I did the thing with the Halloween ones. So yeah.
Well, it looks like your color work is nice and stretchy in the foot.
Oh yeah.
So
she's good. I'm a
you'll be in good shape.
professional.
100%.
I also was knitting my murdering polar bear Tuesday night. And it really got with the vibes.
Yeah.
Like I would
the
like
eyeball,
polar bear
very terrifying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an albino polar bear. And so Jewel, at the start of her Christmas sock, and she had little red noses on her
perfect.
reindeer, and I was right here when I saw that. I think on Monday probably. But listen, there's been a lot of stress knitting. Okay, a lot of stress knitting. I point left a hole and a duplicate stitched on
it's perfect.
Reindeer.
I love the ones that have their head turned. I just love that. Just love. So good. Well, this is great inspo because I've been digging through my scrap, and I have Doodle Christmas stocking class starting tonight. So these are all great. This is great inspo to take to class tonight to start talking about our stocking planning. So I love it. Our very similar color stories. And I can't, I'm definitely going to be utilizing that head turned reindeer. And for probably the plaid. I love that buffalo check as well. So
Yeah,
we'll
the
just see.
plaid is really good. I like this plaid because you only have to hold, it's only two colors, and like every third or fourth row is just one nice swoop. So you get in a nice rhythm with it. I also did something, Laura, where I did the decreases for the gusts in the green.
Yeah, that's so smart. It is so smart and extra fancy, and will photograph like a dream. So love to
Yes,
see it
it
and love
will.
to see doodles in action. And I'm so excited for our little class. And there's still room. Oh, farm doodles. There's still room if you want to hop in tonight. Some people need some impulsive cast-ons, and I think our doodle stocking is the perfect thing. So lauramcdoodle.com. It's on the very first homepage. You can just click on it. Just click on it.
Yes,
Join us.
you should do that because the stocking is the best.
Yeah,
And everyone needs a little Christmas right this very minute.
that's
Uh,
right.
Sorry, pilgrims, but you are
No,
probably the fucking problem anyway. Let's be real.
exactly.
Yeah.
So candles in the windows, carols on the spinet. Let's get those the pilgrims were boring. They're Puritans. No one wants a Puritan at a party. Get them out of here. Straight on to Chaos Christmas 2K4. That's what we're up to. 2K24.
Oh my God, I am living for Chaos Christmas.
Yeah, it's Chaos Christmas. That's what we're up to. That's why we're not sequestering off in Holiday Spectacular. It's all chaos all the time. Chaos Christmas, Kwanzaa, Chaos Hanukkah is coming for you all.
Murderers.
Yep.
Chaos Christmas. It's happening. I feel
Yep.
like even if you are an observer of other holidays this time of year, you can get behind Chaos Christmas because everyone who is mad at you for not celebrating Christmas would be so pissed at you
Yes.
saying Chaos Christmas. So it's a full circle moment.
If cultural appropriation doesn't exist, then I'm appropriating your Christian holiday. And let's jingle fucking bells all
Jingle
the one
fucking
day.
bells, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Love it. Yes, I love it. Okay, also, speaking of doodles, Laura, speaking of
Yes.
doodles,
Yes. Speak of them.
we launched on Monday, which was approximately 70 years ago today.
Yes.
We launched our next joint class. Laura and I are going to be jointly teaching a doodle sweat class.
Yes.
It's fucking serious, okay?
Big time.
This is what's happening.
That's right.
Any yarn, any doodles, any shape. I'm making a cardigan. Laura is making a pullover. She has her yarn. I ordered mine. It's going to get here. I'm excited.
It's this
Laura got me,
mint
speaking
and
of
then all of
Chaos
these.
Christmas, holy shit. Laura got me this Farm Doodle card deck.
That's right. That's right.
Which is just, I'm very pastoral, okay? I'm very pastoral. This really speaks to me. So I will be creating, a Farm Doodle cardigan.
A farm again, if you will.
A farm again. Speaking of things like this pig, both face and butt. It's awesome. I ordered a bunch
For the
of
male gaze.
yarn.
For the MALEGAYS, actually. So that's who it's for. It's for Jason, the he-him gaze.
Only. Yeah. I don't have a lot. Thank God. They're terrible. This is not for them. This is them. Not for men.
Not for men. Yes, I know. I think your audio is a straight man because it's cutting out just a hair.
That's so fucking rude.
It's coming back. coming back. Anyway, yeah, so we have launched lots of clicking. Okay, yeah. Unfortunate, but what's not unfortunate is that doodle sweater class, y'all loved it. And we also kind of launched it at the same time as there is now a official doodle sweater pattern from Pacific Knits Co. And she's calling it a recipe. So by all means, grab yourself tons of official doodles. But in terms of the pattern, we're going to be using our design your own. Yeah, official doodles like Allyson's showing off. Boop, perfect plan. Can you speak to me, Allyson? I think it's better.
It's
better.
Yeah, when I readjusted my headphones, it clicked away from my actual microphone. So we got to the bottom.
There we go. Okay.
Sorry about that, everyone. I was sounding perfect in my mind, as usual.
And when you're on a roll, I don't want to interrupt. It could always be me. It always seemed to be happening when I was nodding, so I was like, it's probably me, but anyway, so Not for Men is the plan for your sweater, but the plan for our class is to use the design your own yoke materials that we have used in Iceland, that Allyson has used in her design your own yoke sweater class to get a perfect fitting garment. Yes. And then we'll use official doodles and designs from your own heart and mind to create your very favorite custom doodle sweater. So it's going to be so much fun. And per our previous conversation, there is nothing more fun than chaos planning right now. I'm having so much fun digging through my stash, making Notion board after Notion board after spreadsheet after spreadsheet. It's so satisfying. It's satisfying is what it is. And so I think you should
can't wait to dig into mine too. I'm going to wait for my yarn to get here, and then I'm going to do a whole thing about it. I've got 24 cards. I have to whittle this down. I'm going chicken forward because it makes Kathy Zwatsky very upset. So I know that's one of the things that I need to do. So only chickens. Some people have only fans. I have only chickens.
Kathy loves you and loves the gentle nagging, but she'll die when she watches this later. She will simply be like, "Oh my God, what did I do?" And then she'll laugh and laugh.
And her chickens. I love chickens. Yeah. I don't know if that's true, Kathy. You will when you see them all on my sweater. Now, we were having a real existential crisis at Harvest Dream Retreat a couple of weekends ago because Maya suggested that I make my sweater in like chronological order, and then I would need to officially decide what came first, the chicken or the egg.
I know, it was really, you had to go to Secret Bourbon Club and think about it.
We had to talk to some bourbon about it, that's for sure.
That's high stakes, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be doing that because I'm just not, if I wasn't ready last week, I'm certainly not ready for a whole existential debate.
No.
When I'm just trying to.
The whole thing will just become question marks and you'll look like the Riddler from Batman. So can't have that.
Not for me. Not my favorite bad guy in Batman.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
Yeah. So, if this sounds like fun to you, there are approximately 7,000 doodles out there, including a new Christmas doodle pack that's
coming out tomorrow.
Oh shit. I can't believe that. Is that a second Christmas doodle pack? It feels like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, she's had winter before, and I'm not sure. I think this one's like the official holiday. I could be wrong though. But yes, I think winter is where it's been, and then we've sort of had like adjacent holiday. But this is like straight up
Christmas,
like candy canes and
capital
shit.
C Christmas.
Looks like a lot of 3-color color work. So
of course.
You can see Allison's face. So that's another reason to hop in the class-a-roo. I can give you some tips on how to manage that. So these are all the kind of hot tips you're going to have in stocking class and in doodle sweater class. So we're doodling on through this thing, and we need you.
Yes, We do. So you can sign up for Laura's class that starts tonight, her sucking class at lauramcdougall.com. You can find our doodle class. It does not start until January at lauraallison.com. Now, Laura, we are nearing the end of our live today, but I did actually want to show you one other thing. I was teasing this yesterday. Shane's birthday is on Sunday, and I made him a sandhill sling out of waterproof fabric.
Wow. Okay, this is so sheen. It has so much sheen.
Because it's like the fabric for like a raincoat.
Yeah, it is so nice and like lightweight. That is gorgeous.
Yeah. It's super lightweight. I think he wanted a waterproof bag. And so I made this, and it was challenging to sew, but I did it, and I got the pockets in here. I used some leftover Liberty fabric for the lining. This is
my God, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm yelling.
So this I did a double zipper. So you could wear it either way.
Wow, you super thought about it. I'm also loving the ASMR from the zippers. It's very pleasing.
We need that.
Whoa.
This very minute. Yeah. So this is for Shane. I will be filling it with a couple of other things, and giving this to him.
Wow. Wife of the year, as per usual.
Yeah,
wowzers.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be really excited about it.
Yeah, he will be and should be. That lining is, but this is why we make things, right? That level of detail, so exciting when you just went boop. God, that was good.
So
that
good,
payoff was great. Yeah.
So good.
You've got the seal of approval from Pat Shotwell, so that is, whew, now you can give it to him. Now you can give it to him.
It made it extra. I know, trad wife, don't take this away from us, you psychos. We like this. We like being like this. All right. And Laura, I will say that compliment coming from Pat Shotwell means extra because I'm going up against Pat this weekend in fantasy football.
Well, as I'm made to understand, Pat only associates with winners. So you're going to have a hard week ahead of you. She loves victory. She has no time for people who like losing. So
no,
she told me all about it.
Sorry, Pat. This week we were all losers. So
that's right.
Yeah, tough to swallow. Sometimes we don't have a choice, Pat. We have to lose.
Yeah, so that you can have such a nice, happy life, Pat. That's what we're trying to deliver to you. But oh my gosh, that is hysterical. Always glad you're here, Pat. Just kidding. But good luck out there. It's chaos in the NFLverse. Woo.
Yes, it is. Fun chaos. Like Chaos Christmas.
Chaos Christmas.
Why not?
Jingle bells.
Why not? We're doing it. Okay, so we can wrap things up. I feel we got a big seal of approval from the lovely Sharon. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being here today, Sharon. Everyone continue hanging in there. Do the best you can. That's all we can do. Right? Laura, great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Great to see you. You look phenomenal as always. So it's great to see you too. Easy on the eyes. All
right, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye y'all.